You know, across North America, real estate is tough right now. Sales are down, inventory's up, transactions are shrinking, and most agents are just struggling to survive. But surviving isn't enough. Not here and not with Pro Agent. Pro Agent is an organization partnered with EXP that emphasizes the key components of real estate mastery: mindset, skills, strategy, and execution. We find agents across the country that want more than just survival. They want the ability to thrive in any marketplace. And that's why we created PRO30. 30 days, one standard, one challenge to raise the bar and to dominate. And the agents who fully capitalize on this challenge will put themselves in the driver's seat to earn 50 to 100,000 or more over the next 90 days from the actions they take over the next 30 days. This isn't about hype. This definitely isn't about talk. This is about execution. You know, everybody has big goals, big dreams, and big visions of what their life would look like if they made more money. But PRO30 is where we find out who's really about that life. This is about proving that your goals don't just live on paper. They become your reality. This is the PRO30 Challenge.
The real question is, you know, do I have the perfect schedule to win this competition or to put myself in the best position throughout the rest of the year? And the answer to that is maybe no, maybe it's close. The idea for you is to create your own perfect schedule. And let's not look at it like a schedule for the next 60, 90 days. Why don't you just create a schedule for your next 30 days in your business and just get intentional about how you're gonna spend your time?
Yeah, so week one, no listings taken. So that's kind of, you know, disappointed, but at least I hit the contact goal. I was hitting every other metric that I needed to hit. It was just that one that I was missing. So I'm feeling pretty good coming into this week, you know, just with the intention of taking a listing, taking two actually. So that's kind of how it is right now.
I got 2 listings. I am proud of that. I could have taken more. I could have put more effort in. Of course. So this week coming in, double the efforts, double the results.
Results could be better. It could always be better. I do feel as though I checked the boxes that I set for myself, but there were days where I could have pushed it a little bit harder. Proud that I was able to secure a listing, like I said I would. So I got my 1 listing in, and now we gotta get 2 this week. So
the first week, it didn't go exactly the way I wanted it to, of course, but I did get one of my highest contact goals reached for a week.
Golf clap.
So I feel like I definitely put in a lot of effort, at least to try. I woke up consistently at 7, before 7 actually, all week. I think just gaining the habit, it was really good. It really put me out my comfort zone.
Honestly, I'm proud of me for even trying and pushing myself to do this challenge. I know there's some fine tuning I need to do as far as conversion with conversations on listing appointments and locking down more listing appointments. Even though I got my first $1 million listing this week, it's time to take it to the next level. So I'm very proud of myself to even accepting and doing this challenge.
Pause.
Just to let you know, I have been sending you some market reports.
You apparently didn't put one of the new cover sheets on your TPS reports.
It's about everything that's been happening. Were you able to receive those reports at all?
You see, we're putting the cover sheets on all TPS reports now before they go out.
Of course. I completely understand that. It happens, of course, but definitely, like I said, I have been seeing some reports and...
What's happening? We need to talk about your TPS reports.
Your home right now is looking in a good spot for you to sell. I know right now you said it's not that time, but we definitely can have the discussion about next year. So we'll definitely stay in touch a little bit more. All right, Patik?
Same time next year.
I haven't touched my follow-up in like what? It's like 3 months, bro. It's like the first time I'm doing this, so I gotta like catch up real quick, bro. Hi, Jassim. I'm Isaiah. We had talked previously in July about that property on Morrow Street.
Are you still accepting an offer? So Ted, personally me, I'm not looking to buy the property, but I do specialize in matching buyers and sellers. You know, I noticed it came off the market today. Did your agent let you know?
Yes, I'm a realtor myself. I was calling because I'm actually very surprised that this property even came off the market in the first place.
Okay, I'll give you a call back. Mike. No bueno. He just said, give me a call back. You know, I'm busy right now, but it's a smokescreen. It's not real. So I should have dug deeper. He's smokescreening me.
You're good. That's the first thing I'll do when we get off the phone. When you had it listed, was there anything else aside from just the market that he told you? Anything wrong with the house? I'm trying to figure out if I'm missing anything. Okay, that's what I saw because it looked like it was in really good shape. What even has you wanting to sell it? Because I talked to a lot of people with similar properties and they're just keeping them. They're holding on to them. What's got you wanting to sell? Ah, I see. And now you're just done with trying to maintain them, and it's a lot of work to keep up with this. So you're saying you just kind of want to get rid of it, cash out, and move on to the next thing. Yeah, I'll text you right now. Very good, sir. I'll talk to you in a bit. He had a call. You know what? I feel good though, because when people say that, like he was like, I got a call coming, I got to let you go, and they just hang up the phone, that's how you know they're lying. But if they stay on the phone, that just means that they answered the call because they had to put you on hold and then take the other call. So I know he actually did answer.
Okay.
But yeah, if people just like get off the rip, you gotta be quick, bro. That guy, like, he was like, man, I'm like, you know, like nothing's selling, this and that. And then I told him, I was like, dude, I literally just sold a house. We went back on the market. We didn't even go back on the market. I took the listing within like a week. I already had them a buyer, never had to go on the MLS. And then you go back into it. He was like, oh, really? Okay. You know, so you gotta just show them what's up. Don't put that.
You should definitely see how much you owe left. Let's get together. I'll show you what the properties are selling for right now, right? How much you can pull off, whether that's making sure that sub-2 thing is legit, because I work with investors that do that all the time, but they put stipulations in place to make sure you're secure in getting your next property and making sure they pay on time. There's a lot of things that to make sure it's a legit move, and some investors don't know how to do that. So let me look into the market, what's doing now. How much do you owe on the property so I can make a net sheet and find out here? And I'll see your better options. Wait, what about your wife? Where's she gonna go afterwards? She's not gonna follow you on the road. Okay, let me look into this, and then we'll talk more like at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, Brad, I'll talk to you soon. Yes, sir. That's one.
If you do that, you should be able to take it off, and you'll stop getting these calls. But I am an agent. You know, would you know anybody looking to sell or buy that I can't help? Yeah, sometimes it's just weird. It's like the website, the way it is, it just connects on it, right? But you actually have to go to, like, let's say I take you off the list, it won't come off for other realtors. So other realtors are gonna keep on calling you, right? You have to go to that website. It's called fcc.gov. Yeah, but would you know anybody? We still help a lot of people rent, you know, even with your parents. Would you know if they're still looking to do anything at all? Okay, what would that be? I hear those people in the background. Trust me, I can send you guys the information. We get properties, so just in the last year alone, we closed over 100. So if your parents are looking to do something, just want to see if we can help them out. Okay. Okay. That was funny. You can hear them in the background. They're just like, get off the call. What are you doing? No, don't give them the number. I'm like, I'm just trying to help. That was funny.
这个经纪人这个叫李相义，李先义，那这是您的房子吗？552这个房子，这是您的吗？还是不是 ？Yeah, he's like, I'm not selling. That's not my house. That's not me. I'm never selling my home before. So.
You know, I think going through the list of our contestants here in the office and kind of giving some insight on, you know, maybe even just my thoughts on what kind of people they are and what their ability really could be in terms of winning the challenge. You know, first on the list, I have, you know, Andrew Shiguri. And, you know, if you know Andrew Shiguri, man, you know that, like, he's a huge personality. And, you know, the guy has this, when he has the right mindset, he has this ability to convert at a very high level. You know, he's the kind of guy that's gone on like 25 listing appointments and taken like 23 out of the 25. So he converts at a high level. People like to work with him. He serves them at a high level. The biggest thing for Andrew in this challenge is going to be his consistency and keeping that dominating mindset. Next on the list is, Aaron Yu. Man, we love Aaron Yu. Aaron Yu has probably been with us at our company before we were ever with EXP. Before we were Hardy & Company, he was with us when we used to own 5 Century 21 offices. And man, nobody probably wants to see Aaron succeed more than Yolanda and I. Now, Aaron is somebody who needs to control his mindset. If he could have a dominating mindset, and just be consistent in his schedule, he's somebody who can go and list 4, 5, 6 properties in a month and really have some major improvements in his business. I think for Aaron, it's going to come down to the discipline. Diego Howard, man, Diego, talking about a dominating personality, super professional, always suited up, always looking like he's ready to go on a listing presentation or go show buyers properties. And one thing about Diego, he's one of our top producers. And I would say for Diego, it's like he does a really good amount of business and he does make the contacts and he prospects, but it's probably usually not as much as he should. And he's able to get so much from what he does do. And I think if somebody like a Diego can, set at least 1 or 2 appointments each and every single day, probably in reality, talk to at least 30 people per day, his business will double, if not triple, over the next 12 months, which will be super exciting. And he's that kind of person that if he takes it up a notch and he takes it to that next level and he makes sure that he really emphasizes on his lead generation this month, he's going to get a ton of results. Next on the list here, we have Mauricio, super professional, always suited and booted up. Him and Yasmin moved all the way from, Charleston, South Carolina to Houston, Texas. They did that, I think, like in the beginning of the year. They came and started with us here in February. And Mauricio's been really dominating ever since, but there's a lot of stuff that Mauricio needs to work on. And I think he's been working on a lot of those things over the last 30, 60 days, but even more so, he's going to be really working on those things the next 30 days in this challenge. And I think what that is like, he's converting at a high level. He's making some really good income since he's been with us. And I think it just comes down to making more contacts and setting more appointments. And if he's in a position where he's at least setting 1 pre-qualified appointment every single day, and he's probably talking to at least 30 to 40 people each and every single day, he's somebody that also could definitely win the competition. He's somebody that could go and take, 6, 7, maybe even 8 listings or more this month. And, we're here for it. Next on here, we have Yasmin. Yasmin is super professional. She moved with Mauricio here to Houston. And, I think that, the biggest challenge for her over the next 30 days is going to be, having the discipline and having a strong mindset. I think that she's the kind of person who really understands the mindset of a lot of the sellers that we're working with. People that have been on the market, expired, and they really need an agent that's going to get the job done, or somebody who lives in an area, lives in a neighborhood, they have a high motivation to move their house, and they have these needs, and they have timelines, and I think she really understands that. She really respects that, and when she has a client, she's going to service them, in an amazing way. I think that what's going to help her over the next 30 days really gain a lot more clients and have a lot more people to serve is her, sticking to the regimen, making sure that, she's setting the appointments every single day. She's making the contacts. She's participating in the coaching and training that we provide. And I think over the next 30 days, she's going to really put a dent in this competition. She really is somebody who could go out and also take a lot of listings. Next, we have Ashley Deep. So Ashley Deep is one of the goats in the office. She's been here for a long time as well. And she's a machine. She's super consistent. She's super disciplined. She's one of those people that I never have to wonder about what she's doing. I know she's doing what she needs to do most of the time when she needs to do it. I think, like most people, it's having, a bigger belief and a stronger mindset. And I think over the next 30 days, if she can really get in that competitive spirit, really dominate her schedule, do what she's always doing, but just raise the bar of that intensity, raise the bar of that enthusiasm, she's going to be somebody who can come in and really take a lot of listings and win the competition as well. Next is Jose Vidal. And, was Jose's name actually in the office, we call him the dog, because, man, he's just a dog. He's a hunting dog. He's somebody who's at the office at 7 o'clock in the morning and may not even leave till 7 o'clock at night because he is the dog. He just loves hunting. He loves making sure that he's doing the right things all the time. And I think for Jose, he's somebody who could dominate in this challenge as well. And when it comes to Jose, it's just, becoming more versatile. I want him to spend the next 30 days becoming more versatile in his approach and how he communicates, and really mirroring and matching the clients that he's talking to on the phone. I think if he can really emphasize that and understand that over the next 30 days, he's going to grow, he's going to learn, and he is a guy that we have to watch out for because he could take a ton of listings under the radar. Caleb Cossey. So, man, Caleb hasn't been with us that long. He's probably been with us maybe like 4 months, but man, he has left a dent and he's left a really big impression on us, man. And, you know, I think he had a month where he took like 9 listings. He had been with us for like 60 days, and in a 30-day period, took like 9 listings, which is like almost unheard of, right? And that's unheard of in any marketplace and any team, any company, any of that kind of stuff. And man, Caleb just kind of gets it, man. He just gets it. He's somebody that like he understands, and he's super coachable. So when you tell him something, he may ask more questions, but he's really just figuring out the best way to explain that to a client and utilize it and leverage the information to get those people the results that he's looking for. He has a clear way of connecting with people that gets people to sign with him. And, you know, he's able to convert at a high level. And, you know, if you're going on, a lot of appointments every single month, you don't want to be in a position where you're only taking half or less of those appointments. And what I've noticed with him is he has a really good ratio. He's probably usually closing 8 out of 10 listing appointments that he goes out on. He's somebody that we got to watch out for in this competition because he's also very competitive. I know he has a sports background, and a lot of times for agents that really helps their competitiveness in the real estate business. So I look forward to see what Caleb has in store for us over the next 30 days. And I think the biggest thing for him is just to get super competitive and make sure that he's doing whatever it takes on a daily basis to get the results that he's looking for so he can win. Patrick Cotto. So Patrick Cotto's been with us for a long time. He's one of the GOATs in the office as well. He has a great track record, and I think for Patrick, he also has that sports background, which creates a lot of coachability, and it also puts him in a position to be naturally more competitive when it comes to being in real estate. Now, my thing for Patrick would be for him to also practice more versatility in his approach, and I would say be more enthusiastic, get out of his shell a little bit more. He's very cool, calm, and reserved, which is really great. But I think versatility is what's going to take him up to the next level. Christopher Alvarez, man, Chris Alvarez is great. I think that, my biggest thing for Chris over the next 30 days is results. He's one of those guys that he knows what to do. He knows what to say. This is that time in his business where it's time to just take it up, not a notch, but take it up like 10 notches. I don't want to see him over the next 30 days just take 1 listing. I want to see him really get out of his comfort zone and go take 4, 5, 6 listings. And I think he has the skill level to do so. It's going to come down to the discipline, the desire, and the expectation that he really drives home every single day with. That's going to make the big difference on the outcome over the next 30 days. Wells Newsom. Talk about a big personality, big guy, big personality, dominating presence, and he's somebody else that could definitely win the competition. I think he was one of the first people to take a listing yesterday. We already had multiple listings taken on day 1 of the competition, and he was one of them. And, he just has this presence, and when he gets in front of people, those people tend to work with him. And I think when it comes to Wells winning this competition, it's going to really come down to discipline over the next 30 days. If he can do what he needs to do day in and day out, participate at the highest level, he's going to be somebody to watch out for. So I look forward to seeing, what he really has in store for us. And if he can keep that discipline at a high level and show up, man, I think he could really make some headway. Last in the competition here is Ed Salem. And, the unfortunate thing for Ed so far is, it's day 1 was yesterday, and unfortunately he was nowhere to be found.
Game over.
Who were probably like the top 3 with the best chances of winning the competition. And, it's kind of hard for me to say because I think that literally, I don't want to be corny, but anybody could win the competition. It just comes down to massive action, right? And if you have the right mindset and you take the right amount of action, somebody on here that has just started with us could ultimately win the competition. If I had to say who are the top 3, create some drama here, I'd probably say, one of the people that comes to mind would be Diego. Somebody else would definitely be Mauricio. I think a Caleb. I also think, and Ashley. It's hard for me to say because I look down and I see Wells as well, and I go, man, Wells could dominate this. So, I think that top 3, top 4, top 5, it's a mix of, probably a Wells, maybe a Patrick, a Caleb, an Ashley, Mauricio, and probably Diego. I'd say out of the group that we have in this competition, that'd probably be like the top 5 that at least have like the track record and the current mindset and ability right now to really win or be in those top 3 spots. I know real estate is tough right now for a lot of people, but it's amazing for the few that do what it takes. And I think if all these guys and gals can do exactly what it's going to take for them to put themselves in the best position possible, they're all going to finish this as winners when it comes to beating their personal best and the incomes that are going to come from it. So I'm excited.
And I think what's really going to take place is that over the next 7 days, you're going to be the kind of person that does what they say they're going to do, or you're going to be the person that doesn't. And the world is going to be there to see, your character. They're going to be able to judge you on, what you say and how you follow through. And it's an exciting time. Andrew, he's committing to, and which route did you go? You went the
one with one pre-qualified appointment a day.
One pre-qualified appointment. So you kind of, because I think you did advanced, but you went back to intermediate?
I thought that was advanced.
For Andrew in here, his commitment, 6 days working, 18 hours of prospecting for the week, at least 180 contacts. I'd go back to you on the emails, man. I think we need you guys get the deal. And your minimum standard, my belief, should be 5 a day. And it should just be a game you're playing. It should be a game you're playing. It's like, hey, how many numbers at the bar can I get? I'm not even interested in calling them. I just want to know I still got it, baby. That's what I'm trying to have you do with the emails, right? Like, hey, the conversation doesn't have to be one that it has a lead. Maybe the person's like, dude, I'm going to be here for the next 5 years. Okay, well, guess what? How awesome will it feel? Because I know we've talked about this with Ashley. Has there been some people that you talked to 2 years ago that you've listed and sold their property this year? You know what I'm saying? And if you don't capitalize on that opportunity, then you're not gonna, it's like 2 or 3 years later, these people will do something with you, right? So leads generated, you're kind of looking to set a lead, to create a lead every 7 contacts. This is where Aaron's from. I mean, this is where Dylan's from. We got Ashley D. So Ashley, she's gonna work. You're gonna work.
Oh, I thought it's like coming into work. No, I'm gonna work 6 days.
She's gonna work 6 days. I figured. Okay, so she's gonna work 6 days. Total hours of prospecting is 20. I kind of feel like you would do more than that. How many hours are you typically prospecting right now a day on average?
At least 4.
At least 4. Okay, so 4, 6. You'll probably get like 24. I know usually Saturdays probably aren't a big prospecting day as far as like doing it for 3 or 4 hours.
I'm pretty sure I can get it.
Are you gonna? Is that kind of what you're trying to do on Saturdays? Yeah. Okay. I would just say, hey, it's appointments over contacts anyways, right? So if you can set 2 appointments in your first hour and a half, go do whatever the hell you want to do on Saturday, right? But I think it comes down to going, hey, if I'm committing to the advanced approach on the competition and I'm going for 2, if it takes you 5 hours, it's going to take you 5 hours, right? She's committed to 200 contacts for the week, which is strong. She needs to collect more emails as well. So we got Mauricio, 6 days, 20. Have you ever hit 240 contacts in a week? It's going to be the first week. The first week ever. On average, how many contacts are you typically hitting a day? More like 15, 20?
More recently, it's been like between 30 and 25.
What has been the difference you've noticed from hitting some more contacts?
It's more appointments.
More appointments. Yeah. And when you have more appointments, you don't have to take them all. You don't have to deal with the wrong clients. It's when you generate, baby, you don't got to tolerate, right? So, all right. So we got Big Wells on here. So Wells, he's gonna work 2 days. Wells, what are you doing? What are we doing? 2 days?
No, it's 5 days. It was a typo.
You drew it. You're dyslexic. You just dyslexic or what? You might want to get the camera on Wells. Wells is on the phone. So for everybody on the YouTube watching this, we're gonna try to get Wells in the office next week. He's gonna do 21 hours of prospecting. His contact goal is 100. So the thing for Wells, and this is different from everybody's in the sense of you really got to focus on that appointment being set, right? Which route are you going? The intermediate?
Intermediate.
Okay, so 1 appointment a day. So more than anything, the most important thing is to get that 1 appointment a day. Have you got one yet or no?
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. Did you feel like you were moving differently, just knowing that you needed to get one?
Absolutely. I got 20 contacts in the first hour.
Golly, look at that. Okay. So your girl's actually seeing you work at home. I like that. That's good.
I locked the doors.
Yeah, don't talk to me, don't touch me, don't do nothing. I'm not hungry. I got protein shakes. I'm good. Okay. Chris Alvarez. What's your inventory like that right now? How many actives? How many actives do you have? Yeah, he already has actual zeros. He's already, he's first. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
He already knows he ain't taking shit this week.
Yeah. Okay. But how many actives do you have right now?
2.
You have 2 actives right now? Are you getting traction on those listings? Are you having conversations with your sellers?
I think one I'm gonna drop because you just can't go lower. He owes too much.
Okay.
Financing, that deal, Cleveland.
Okay.
The other one, we're gonna probably drop it like 10K.
All right, so Diego, he's going to commit to 6, which is big because I know usually you're Monday through Friday kind of guy. You said you're going to be working Saturdays, which is big. But I think because you're doing intermediate, right? Like you're doing beginner, so 30 contacts and 1 appointment.
I have to get to at least 30 a day. Right now I'm at 15, which is probably the most I usually do a day. I usually don't get about.
Yeah. So this is going to be really this commitment over the next 30 days is probably going to bring. So I think this guy already has 12 listens. So just imagine if you are the 30 contact a day guy. And on Saturday, my advice would be, if you don't want to be making contacts all day on a Saturday, just set that appointment, baby. Because that's the benefit. 30 contacts or 1 appointment. That doesn't mean on a Thursday at 9 in the morning you set an appointment bounce, right? But the beginner is 30 or 1 appointment, right? So if they set that appointment, they don't have to hit the full 30. So we got Isaiah on here. He's going to do over 20. Which one did you do?
I did intermediate.
Okay.
I've been thinking maybe I should just go beginner.
Go beginner. Make the commitment. Just follow through. 30 or 1 appointment a day. There's nothing bad about doing the beginner route. Overall, the idea should be for a lot of people to do beginner. Then they dominate it. The next 30 days, intermediate. The next 30 days to go advanced, right? But somebody could do beginner every day the next 90 days, make more money over the next 90 days than they ever have, right? The standard, remember, the standard was already high. The beginner standard's high. And we're going to talk about the standards for agents. We're going to have more standards for our clients as well. It all really correlates, right? So emails collected 12. I would put more than that. Leads generated is kind of fine. Appointments set 5. You're working 6 days a week, so you should try to put at least 6. I know you may go the beginner route and it's at least 30 contacts, but you still want to be intentional about setting an appointment every single day. Appointments gone on 4. If you could go 4 out of the 5, that would be amazing. In reality, if you were to set 5, and I think you can, you're probably going on at least 2 of those. Jose's in ISA mode, so number of days you're going to work 5. I don't know what that means. Are you in the competition or not?
Yes. Does he have a choice?
Yeah. So why do you put 5? You need to fix it.
Yeah, I'll fix
You need to fix 5. Okay. So he's going to put 6. Total hours of prospecting. He said he's going to put 30 hours of prospecting. Jose, if you could create 7 actual appointment opportunities out of the 15 that you set, that's going to be a very, very powerful week. So we got Caleb, Kasi in the building. Hey, thanks for showing up. But hey, he's here. Man, he got some big goals for the week, man. So he's going to work 6 days. He's committing to 30 hours of prospecting. You can tell he's on the dialer because his goal is 325 contacts. He don't care about 4 and 5. But you know what? The thing is I know Caleb gets it. So he's looking to take 0 listings out of his 10. Number 1 piece of advice: we just need to fill out the sheet correctly. But hey, with the appointment goal and a contact goal like that, I got nothing bad to say. Get the in the game or go to some other office. This is gonna be the last meeting people are late for. Last meeting people are late for. Wasting my time, wasting their time. People say they want to be successful. Hold me to a high standard. Tell me what I need to be told. Do what I need to be doing. But then they don't actually show up. So I'm not waiting on them. These are the deal. From the very start, rules for everybody. Morning huddle at 7 o'clock. Goal sheet due at 7:30. Zoom prospecting 8 to 11:30. Tuesday, PRO30 coaching, 11 o'clock, mandatory. Daily reporting by 8 o'clock at night. Every Monday, submit your goals for the next 7 days. Actuals from the past 7 days. Sundays off. Kept Sundays off because clearly it shows that we're doing this 6 days a week. So I just want us to think about some things, right? Because what's going to happen is we're either going to be a group that's filled with people who have really great habits, or we're going to be filled with people that have really bad habits. And statistically, if we just think about this for a moment, right? If we have a group of people with bad habits, right? What are the chances that group over the next 12 months accomplishes that goal. So when you do that daily sheet in the morning, you say, hey, I want to close 40 transactions in a year. I want to make 250,000, 350,000, because I got these people sending stuff in like that, right? But if they have bad habits, what's the likelihood as a whole that those people will actually accomplish that number? It's going to be pretty low, right? However, if the majority, if everybody raises the bar, they raise their standards, they have good habits, great habits, right? The chances that those, numbers that we put on that daily sheet of what we want to make over the next 12 months really becomes a true reality, right? I guarantee you, if I have Isaiah here, for the next 12 months, he's on his shit. He's doing exactly what he needs to be doing. Every day, he's going to have so much more confidence about getting closer and closer to that goal. But if you have a lot of days with bad habits, the confidence of you accomplishing that goal, man, it's almost like you're going to be running away from it, right? So just imagine for one person, that energy that can take on, right? Well, if you multitude that into, by 12, right? You got 12 other people, 13 other people doing these things, man, that really harnesses a certain level of momentum, right? A certain level of energy. So I want us to look at these items as a couple. I want us to look at these items real quick. So each one of these are laid out for a reason. Each one of these has a massive impact on the outcome of your day, your week, your month, and your year. If you've already been in a position where you haven't been a part of the morning huddles at 7 o'clock, you need to rethink where you're at on whether you want to have good habits or bad habits. Because, see, in reality, if somebody's not in that huddle at 7 o'clock in the morning, right, they're not getting on that FaceTime call or that Facebook FaceTime call, they're probably not doing what they need to be doing already. They're probably still asleep or just getting the crust out of their eyes, and they're not participating. It's not because they're on their game, it's because they're off of their game. And so if you don't think this applies to you and somehow you're going to be miraculously successful, you're going to have to rethink that entire process and the reality of what you're doing every day. The goal sheet done by 7:30. If a goal sheet doesn't get done by 7 to 7:30, chances are that person is not doing what they need to be doing when they need to be doing it. Meaning, if you've already got behind on these first two standards, on these first two items, you're already dealing with negative momentum in your day. That negative momentum starts to get really heavy. It weighs down on you. The thought of setting multiple appointments, taking a listing, 2 listings in a day, starts to just fade completely away if we can't even wake up to hop on a morning huddle, or you can't get your daily goal sheet in by 7:30. And so if you can even just get these 2 items done each and every single day before we go to the rest of them, you're already going to be having a lot of positive headway, and you're probably going to accomplish more than the people that don't, right? Zoom prospecting from 8 to 11:30. If you're not here, right? So we have some people in this room, we have some people that didn't show up for this meeting, and they may decide, hey, I'm not going to come into the office and I'm going to prospect on the Zoom. But what you'll notice is that there's a good number of them that don't hop on until 8:30 when it says 8 o'clock, right? Or they're on for an hour and they fade off and they come back for 20 minutes and then they fade off again, and maybe they were only on the Zoom for an hour to 2 hours. The same thing if you're in the office, it's no difference. Hey, you know what? I did a little bit of role playing in the morning, did a little bit of this and that. Now it's 8:15, 8:30, and you're still not on the phones yet. It's the same thing for the people that are on Zoom that aren't putting their screen on or showing themselves prospecting at that time. If you're not locking in from 8 to 11:30 and you're not eliminating excuses, bro, I guarantee you're not going to be successful, right? It don't matter. You can think you're doing something. I know, like Diego had a commercial person to meet with this morning. He may validate it to himself. I'm never going to validate that shit because I know you're not going to be where you want to be 12 months from now when you interrupt your schedule to go do those things. It could be somebody need to go like, oh, I got to take my mom to the doctor. God bless you for taking your mom to the doctor. Why the are you going at 10 o'clock in the morning when I guarantee you that thing was scheduled 3 months ago, 2 months ago, a month ago, and you could have scheduled it for the early afternoon or a different time. If you were an attorney and you had to be in court at 10 o'clock with a high profile client, would you go, hey, sorry, I can't be here to defend you because I got to go take my mom to the doctor because I didn't schedule it correctly? You know what I mean? So, this is more about you going, hey, if I can master these things and stop acting like they don't apply to me, what's going to happen is 12 months from now, you will make a lot of money. You are going to accomplish some great things, but we have to get over this of where we think that these things don't apply to us, because you have to ask yourself, has there ever been a morning where from 8 to 11:30, you really did lock in and only maybe took 15 minutes of breaks? Could you imagine the compound interest of that over just 30 days? like an extra 30 minutes of prospecting. Let's be real. From 8 to 11:30, I'd say most people are probably getting 2 hours, right? And that's kind of being nice on others. And, you know, other people like an Ashley or somebody else may actually get more than 2 hours in the morning. 1 hour a day, that's 10 contacts. That's 50 a week in 5 days. That's 200 a month. That's 2,400 a year. That's 2,400 more contacts. If you made 2,400 more contacts in the year by actually just following that 8 to 11:30, 2,400. What's a 1% conversion rate? What's 1%? 24. Some of you don't even sell 24 homes in a year. It's crazy. It's just crazy, right? And so, you know, I'm just like, I just want to show you how fed up I am with it so that you can get fed up with it. And we just get some greatness going on in this room. If motherfuckers don't want to show up and they don't respect, because see what happens is, see, I don't even look at it like it's me. I don't give a about my ego. When somebody doesn't show up for this meeting, to me, they're just spitting in all your faces and going, oh, you motherfuckers could be in this room. You got to deal with this. I don't have to do it. I'm going to do this my time. Well, you're going to be a fucking loser. Like, that's just what it is. And I'm just tired of the loser mentality and the disrespect across the board, whether it's to the leadership or the other people on the team. Like, we really, like, iron really does sharpen iron. We have to get sharper with these things, and we have to just get away from the bullshit. The Pro 30 isn't like mediocre 30. Like, watch me not be successful 30. It's Pro 30. It's actually to, like, defy the industry. The reason why we create a pro agent is because agents always say, I'm a professional real estate agent. And so we decided to go, we're going to show you what a pro agent really is, right? But we actually have to follow through with those things. And when we actually honor that and we take our own business and the people's business around us who want to accomplish their goals super seriously, then you know what? Instead of it just me and 3 people and Diego doing the round robin objection handling, it'll be 15, 20 people taking it seriously in the morning. Because that's what Diego and I are kind of looking for in the morning. Hey, let's get in here. Let's make it happen, right? And so it's connecting the dots between each and every single one of these things.